within a year, I went back to my old life, except for it was even worse.
Hmm.
I became a professional stripper and I became a drug dealer and I rode with the Hells Angels again. And I was a very, very bad boy.
Wow.
And one night at a drug party, I overdosed and my friends left me on the floor to die. And there was one gal that hung around. I found out later she became a nun,
Hmm.
but she hung around to make sure I didn't die. I was begging the people to take me to the hospital. I knew I was dying. And so they just left the party and went to a different party, I guess. And she nursed me for 3.5 hours, saying encouraging scriptures in my mind. And I was just like lost in my mind. It was like a hallucination. By the time morning came around, I said to the Lord, if you get me through this, I'll never go back to drugs again. And 1 week later, I was at a party at my Hells Angels friend's house, and they were passing around the acid, purple haze to be exact. And if anyone knows anything about purple haze, you'll trip on it if you
Yeah.
if you take one.
I've never
And
tried
because
it, but
of
I've heard stories. Yeah.
yes, so the peer pressure was great, and I tossed it down, and I realized what I had done, broken a promise to God.
Hmm.
Here I am already saved, and I'm freaking out at this party. And so, as everyone else is beginning to trip out, I'm begging God, please, please, please don't let this have an effect on me. And it didn't.
Hmm.
I sat through the whole night as everyone else was tripping out, and I became the nurse maiden for these depraved people tripping out on their purple haze. And when morning came around, the queen bee of the Hells Angels for our particular unit said, "There's something strange about you." And she began to describe this experience whenever I was around, her witchcraft wouldn't work. And I didn't know anything about demonic, warfare, nothing. But she knew when I was around, she couldn't perform her witchcraft. And she says, "You get out of our house right now and don't you ever come back."